Words to remember. Chapter 11. Properties of the hair and scalp. Subscribe to my channel so that I can share advanced information with you. Flashcards. Review over and over for best results. Trichology. Scientific study of hair and its diseases and care. Hair root. The part of the hair located below the surface of the epidermis. Hair shaft. The portion of hair that projects above the epidermis. Hair bulb. Lowest part of a hair strand, the thickened, club-shaped structure that forms the lower part of the hair root. Hair follicle. The tube-like depression or pocket in the skin or scalp that contains the hair root. Dermal papilla. Dermal papillae. A small, cone-shaped elevation located at the base of the hair follicle that fits into the hair bulb. Erector pili muscle. The small, involuntary muscle in the base of the hair follicle. Sebaceous glands. The oil glands in the skin that are connected to the hair follicles. Sebum. A fatty or oily substance secreted by the sebaceous glands that lubricates the skin. Cortex. Middle layer of the hair, a fibrous protein core formed by elongated cells containing melanin pigment. Hair cuticle. Outermost layer of hair, consisting of a single, overlapping layer of transparent, scale-like cells that look like shingles on a roof. Keratinization. Process by which newly formed cells in the hair bulb mature, fill with keratin, move upward, lose their nucleus, and die. Medulla. Innermost layer of the hair that is composed of round cells, often absent in fine and naturally blonde hair. Keratin. A fibrous protein that grows from cells originating within the hair follicle. Cone's elements. The 5 elements carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, and sulfur that make up human hair, skin, tissue, and nails. Amino acids. Units that are joined together end-to-end like pop beads by strong, chemical peptide bonds to form the polypeptide chains that comprise proteins. Polypeptide chain. A long chain of amino acids linked by peptide bonds. Peptide bond. Also known as an end bond, chemical bond that joins amino acids to each other, end-to-end, to form a polypeptide chain. Helix. Spiral shape of a coiled protein created by polypeptide chains that intertwine with each other. Proteins. Long, coiled complex polypeptides made of amino acids. Side bonds. Bonds that cross-link the polypeptide chains together and are responsible for the extreme strength and elasticity of human hair. Hydrogen bond. A weak, physical, cross-link side bond that is easily broken by water or heat. Salt bond. A weak, physical, cross-link side bond between adjacent polypeptide chains. Cysteine. An amino acid with a sulfur atom that joins together 2 peptide strands. Disulfide bond. Strong chemical side bond that joins the sulfur atoms of 2 neighboring cysteine amino acids to create one cysteine, which joins together 2 polypeptide strands like rungs on a ladder. Cysteine. An amino acid formed when 2 cysteine amino acids are joined by their sulfur groups or disulfide bond. Lanthionine bonds. The bonds created when disulfide bonds are broken by hydroxide chemical hair relaxers after the relaxer is rinsed from the hair. Melanin. The tiny grains of pigment in the cortex that give natural color to the hair. Eumelanin. Provides natural dark brown to black color to the hair and is the dark pigment predominant in black and brunette hair. Pheomelanin. The lighter pigment that provides natural colors ranging from red and ginger to yellow and blonde tones. Wave pattern. The shape of the hair strands, described as straight, wavy, curly, and extremely curly. Vellus hair. Also known as lanugo hair, short, fine, unpigmented, and downy hair that appears on the body, with the exception of the palms of the hands and the soles of the feet. Terminal hair. Long, coarse, pigmented hair found on the scalp, legs, arms, and bodies of males and females. Anagen phase. Also known as growth phase, phase during which new hair is produced. Telogen phase. Also known as resting phase, the final phase in the hair cycle that lasts until the fully grown hair is shed. Catagen phase. The brief transition period between the growth and resting phases of a hair follicle. It signals the end of the growth phase. Alopecia. Abnormal hair loss. Androgenic alopecia. Also known as androgenetic alopecia, hair loss characterized by miniaturization of terminal hair that is converted to vellus hair. In men, it is known as male pattern baldness. Alopecia totalis. Alopecia areata. Autoimmune disorder that causes the affected hair follicles to be mistakenly attacked by a person's own immune system, usually begins with one or more small, round, smooth bald patches on the scalp. Alopecia universalis. Complete loss of body hair. Postpartum alopecia. Temporary hair loss experienced towards the end and after the pregnancy. Keratinization. Technical term for gray hair, results from the loss of the hair's natural melanin pigment. Ringed hair. Variety of keratinization characterized by alternating bands of gray and pigmented hair throughout the length of the hair strand. Hypertrichosis. Also known as hirsutis, condition of abnormal growth of hair, characterized by the growth of terminal hair in areas of the body that normally grow only vellus hair. Tricoptilosis. Technical term for split ends. Trichorexis nodosa. Technical term for knotted hair, it is characterized by brittleness and the formation of nodular swellings along the hair shaft. Monolithrix. Technical term for beaded hair. Fragilitas cranium. Technical term for brittle hair. Pityriasis. Technical term for dandruff, characterized by excessive production and accumulation of skin cells. Malassezia. Naturally occurring fungus that is present on all human skin, but is responsible for dandruff when it grows out of control. Pityriasis capitis simplex. Technical term for classic dandruff, characterized by scalp irritation, large flakes, and itchy scalp. Pityriasis steatoides. Severe case of dandruff characterized by an accumulation of greasy or waxy scales mixed with sebum that stick to the scalp in crusts. Tinia. Technical term for ringworm, a contagious condition caused by fungal infection and not a parasite, characterized by itching, scales, and, sometimes, painful lesions. Scutula. Dry, sulfur yellow, cup-like crusts on the scalp in Tinia favicea or Tinia favis. Tinia favicea. Also known as Tinia favis, fungal infection characterized by dry, sulfur yellow, cup-like crusts on the scalp called scutula. Pediculosis capitis. Infestation of the hair and scalp with head lice. Furuncle. Boil, acute, localized bacterial infection of the hair follicle that produces constant pain. Carbuncle. Inflammation of the subcutaneous tissue caused by staphylococci, similar to a furuncle but larger. Hair texture. Thickness or diameter of the individual hair strand. Hair porosity. Ability of the hair to absorb moisture. Hair density. The number of individual hair strands on 1 square inch of scalp. Hydrophobic. Naturally resistant to being penetrated by moisture. Hair elasticity. Ability of the hair to stretch and return to its original length without breaking. Hydrophilic. Easily absorbs moisture, in chemistry terms, capable of combining with or attracting water. Hair stream. Hair flowing in the same direction, resulting from follicles sloping in the same direction. Whorl. Hair that forms in a circular pattern on the crown of the head. Cowlick. Tuft of hair that stands straight up. Thank you. Next chapter. 12 Basics of Chemistry. Click the subscribe button.